And hello, and welcome to our EFAcast. I suppose the first question to ask is how the Photography Festival of Castilla and León came about, and what sort of events do you have in it?
Well, this year we are going to open the second edition of this festival. The first edition took place last year. And we really want to just celebrate images, photography images and cinema images, taking the word festival as it is in the sense of its own etymology, which is celebration. And last year, we drawn a kind of cartography in a way of this festival following three axes, convergent axes, which is exhibitions, conversations, and cinema, which is really open a kind of umbrella of the images. Inside these three convergent axes, we have different levels in a way. What we really want through this festival is first build an identity and to invite as much as possible people who can come in or take part in this festival or visiting the exhibitions, take part of the conversations and see the films we propose. So we don't have to generate any pretext, any thematic, any something that would draw in a way a territory where we just justify our proposal. But inside that festival, we create correspondences, conversations between exhibitions from main figure of the 20th century with young generations, and how one is a prolongation of the other ones and how they can create this conversation.
Castilla and León is quite a big region in central Spain. What cities are the exhibitions, where in Spain are the exhibitions held, in which cities?
Well, this festival takes place in Palencia. Palencia is the third city in Castilla y León. Castilla y León, just for the information, is one of the first and maybe the first region in Spain which is really rich in terms of cultural proposal, and where really you have a kind of tradition of that kind of event and a festival in that little city, which is 80,000 people living in Palencia. Is just the perfect theater to create really a kind of event that you can walk around the city and visit these 12 exhibitions and 8 exhibitions outside in the city.
So it's all in Palencia, and so you have to go just there rather than to the whole region. And tell me, are the exhibitions in galleries or are they on the streets? Where are they?
We're both. We really want to invite the city and the institutions of Palencia, who welcome our proposal 2 years ago with their arms really open. We have 12 exhibitions inside and 8 exhibitions outside in the city, where I'm not going to reveal exactly the places in the city where they take place, so people can just meet them by surprise. And we created outside a very big volumes, cubes, where we can show four pictures by cube, of course, and which are really creating kind of itinerary inside the old part of the town. And then we have created links with public entities who depends from the government of Castilla y León, who really invite us to show specific exhibitions inside museums that belongs to the city or to the region.
And is Palencia a very old town, or is it a modern town? What sort of place is it?
Well, Palencia, it's an old Romanic city which has a huge past, more in terms of archaeology, architecture, and all the main center of the city is really rich in terms of past testimony in a way. And the way we get our proposal inside that decor or that architecture, urbanism thing is really respectful also, because we don't alterate anything. We just put some insight of the picture inside this panorama or historic panorama.
And why photography there? I mean, it sounds as if, does it have any great tradition of photography in Palencia, or is it just a way of making Palencia come into the 21st century?
Both things. First, there's a small little festival in Palencia since many years, I would say 2 decades, that takes place, Palencia Photo, who has a long trajectory, a long, how do you say that, career in terms of festival, and there's really a public for this. And also in Palencia, there is an archive which is called Archivo Histórico de Palencia, de Castilla y León, where they own a very rich archive with thousands of pictures that people give. And really there's a huge interest in pictures and in history of photography, in cinema. And specifically here, however, Valladolid is not very far, and they have also other kinds of events, such as the Seminci Festival of Cinema, which is the second festival of cinema in Spain. And why Palencia? Probably because Palencia has all the capacity, the infrastructure, the architecture ready to use for that kind of event. Museums have all the conservation necessity to show vintage prints and so on. And really the size of the city is perfect for that kind of event. And really we in Castilla y León, there's no other event like that.
And how do you hang the photographs? Are they just presented as straightforward prints, or are they as installations? What's the presenting tradition that you're getting towards?
In the exhibition we hang in museum, what we like to do is really a traditional way of hanging museum ways. There's no, we cannot ask the public to go over the music in a way. You know, we really have a pedagogical aspect to develop. And first, to make known the main photographers of the 20th century in a very classical way, in a way, so they can get in that space in a way. Then maybe in 5-10 years, I don't know, but following the evolution of our audience, we will be maybe able to just to get a little bit far of that kind of proposal. So from now, we really want to give the visitors an overview of the 20th century, and also an overview of the young generations that get in resonance with those photographers.
I wonder if you see the potential for collaborating with other art forms. I mean, I know a lot of composers have written works that actually are stimulated by photographs, and I wondered whether there's a space for performance in the festival. And also, of course, many artists, performing artists of different genres, dancers, for example, also work with photographers quite often. And I wonder whether you see that cross collaboration developing.
I think it's too early to think in something like that right now. Our audience is young in getting an experience of the image. And I really want to go slowly, really to prepare them to have a complete overview of the history, and then to begin to play and to begin to invite them also to do something. But first, I really want to give a kind of panoramical vision of the history, to present them proposal, and each year to develop new concepts, as we do this year in Museo de Palencia. We invite at the same time an archive, a public archive, and we just have another exhibition in the same place of a private collection, what does that mean? What is a private collection? What is a public archive? What or other conversation we can organize between two photographers that we can just put both together and get conversation on a specific problematic of photography, as what is a territory, for example. This is something about the performance and about getting the limits of the image a little bit far, which is we have in mind, but maybe later.
Now, Anne, forgive me for saying, but you sound more French than Castilian to me. How did you get involved?
Well, when I finished my studies in Arles in 98, I decided to go to Madrid because I think that the quality of life in Spain is excellent. And then since about now 20 years, I collaborate with Castilla y León and specifically with someone who has been very important in the cultural panorama in this country, who is Juan González Posada, who is someone really, really important in that country, and who really wanted and did finally to bring new proposal, to bring some things from outside that can really develop proposal exhibitions and other cultural events that can make the city and the country richest.
If perhaps from this coming festival there's one image which you want people to take away, what would it be?
Surprise. You will be surprised, really. And don't think that a festival is a kind of accumulation of proposal. They are all settled in the right place, like a little collection. Each piece has to find its own place, but do not expect this is easy. Probably you will have to face yourself. Probably you will have to make experimentation of something unknown that will probably make you learn much more about you. Surprise is a word. And in this edition, I really wanted to bring something that in a way can make the balance a little bit difficult for the audience and to make them understand that a festival is not just a deambulation in museums, that it's really an experience.